The insights I've had the last couple of days about those moments that seem to light me up and line up with, and sometimes I back away from them. Bing! Wow. Welcome, welcome, welcome all. So, the magic of morning pages. Ooh, I just want to put it out there, the magic of morning pages. So the theme today is writing, morning pages, reflecting, and my insights about timing. So this is all prep work and introductory work for the big project, which is Breathe, Feel, Dream, Reset 2022 with Love Evolve Energy. Breathe, Feel, Dream Posse. Join us. So if you want to have some insights about morning pages, the magic and the insights that can happen from there, stick around. We're going to unpack that now. I love a good rhythm. So we're going to unpack one of the techniques we'll be using in the Breathe, Feel, Dream Posse. I felt really inspired to write to record this morning. And you can see I'm a little bit off, but it's all okay. I really gleaned a lot of radical acceptance of what is and how it is through my morning pages this morning and just how magical they are. So what we're going to do first is talk a little bit about what they are, and I'll introduce some of these books here. There, that's a better view. They're on the reading list. And then I'm going to tell you a bit about my experience this morning of timing and what I realized about choices. So here we are in Breathe, Feel, Dream Posse, and it's very much about making practical choices, practical meaning that which aligns with how we really want to feel in the tiny moments and the big moments. And when those moments of choice making come, do we take them or do we choose differently out of fear, overwhelm? And if it is fear and overwhelm, is it simply just boiled down to timing? Is the timing right to choose in this way right now? Because if the timing isn't right, you can't force yourself into a choice. At times, it's appropriate, if you've just had enough, to really dig deep, to move in and go off automatic, out of your patterns, your addictions, your habits, and go manual. And in some ways, it can be a kind of bullying when you do this, when you're forcing a choice, whether it's for, quote, your own good or not. So as I'm saying bullying and for your own good, you can hear some of these patterns that can arise in narcissistic abuse relationships, just putting that on the table. And really, in some ways, we have a narc abuse template coming down from society. So it could just be the squeeze from that. Anyway, that's where I'm headed with some of those insights. I'll add some more impact and meaning behind them when I unpack my story of this morning around all of that. And boy, oh boy. All right, so the books. The Artist's Way by J.Cameron. Here we go. The Artist's Way by J.Cameron. A spiritual path to higher creativity. Now, I came across this book 20 years ago, give or take. Probably give. She had a second book that I just want to mention here called The Vein of Gold. Another beautiful, beautiful book to dive a little bit deeper into, well, she calls it a journey to your creative heart. So it's a part 2 of digging deeper if you're following her method toward creative exploration. So in the Breathe, Feel Dream Posse, the BFD Posse, what? And hey, by the time this is airing, the sign up for this is on now. And you have until October 9th to get some real discounts. Until October 9th, it will be $333 one-shot deal or 3-part payment for $333. After the 9th, it raises up $200. So after the 9th until the 15th is the closing date to register. I can be flexible with that too, but it's, the 15th of October. Because we're go already. There's some people already signed up and they're already in the Facebook group. And so it's already rolling. We are limiting it to, I think, 12 people. It's I'm hoping around 10. 10 is a feel good. 12 we can do. 10 or 12, I'll bring in an assistant who some of you know. And that will be its own kind of expansion and awesomeness. Anyway, so the price raise on the 9th is $555 US. So get it soon, you guys. Get it before. And with $555, there's not a payment plan. That's just a last minute. I'm just going to do this. So do it now. You have about less than 2 weeks. At the posting of this video, less than 2 weeks. All right, so that's the promo. Morning pages. J.Cameron, in her Artist's Way book, and I've run through this program of hers two times. I want to say 3, but I know 2 times for sure. I've run through this program for myself years ago, like over a decade ago. Although the habit of journaling that she calls morning pages, it's a specific kind of automatic writing. And some of you know what automatic writing was. If you were in the day long, we did some of it. So she has a particular approach to that. Within her program, it's one of her basics. It's the foundation of it. That and something she calls artist dates. But we're not really going to do artist dates per se during the Breathe, Feel Dream Posse. However, if you pick up this book and it hugely resonates with you, then go for it. And have this be some more of your guide within the posse. So with morning pages with J.Cameron, what they are, and she says morning pages because she has a belief here that I don't ascribe to, although I understand why she does. Morning pages for her are simply every morning 3 pages of word dump, brain dump, heart dump, just whatever. No punctuation, no right, no wrong. There are words you know, words you don't know. It's scribble. It's thrashing at the page. It's whatever it is for 3 pages. Every day, 3 pages. Now, she works with an 8.5 by 11 basic notebook. I agree. If you're working with one of those smallers, like the 4 by 8s, you might need to dig a little bit deeper. So I'm going to say You're going to need an 8.5 by 11 notebook. I just want to show you what I got. I was hoping to get something similar, and they didn't have what I wanted where I went to get a notebook, but I got this big honkin', and the pages that you can write on, there are no lines. That's okay. It was really affordable, and I needed really affordable, and it's pink, and I love me some pastels. And I put some stickers on the front. So this is my morning pages journal for the posse. It will probably continue longer. Yeah, those are just stickers. You can see the shine. And this is really just an artist journal for an Artist Loft. I don't know if any of you are art makers, but Artist Loft, they make a lot of products, paper products. And it's just wide open pages. So I just started. This is brand new. I'm going to put this up closer. So maybe you'll be able to read, maybe not. It just kind of looks like that. I chose to use a blue pen. I got myself a new fancy pen. And, again, I didn't break the bank. I think it was, for this fancy pen, it was under $2. Beautiful ink. And this fat journal of 180 pages thick, weight paper, pure white. This was $10. And I believe I got it at cost, discount, whatever. So that's what I went for. I was looking for size of the page, and that's about it. This is what I found, and I'm in love with it. I love it. It's not what I wanted, but it's what I found. So for morning pages, you see me getting excited about it. That's how you start it. You find some kind of journal, some kind of morning pages journal that has meaning for you. I love it. I love it. Has meaning for me. And then every morning, about the same time, so the reason for same time-ish is to create a habit, a pattern that is healthy and supportive of you. You show up at the page and you just write whatever. I'm going to read a little bit from the book so you feel inspired. I let them fall out. Basic tools. So what she says about the basic tools, I'm just going to read a little. I love doing these reading sessions. They make me super happy. So Julia says, in order to retrieve your creativity, you need to find it. I ask you to do this by an apparently pointless process. I call the morning pages. You will do the pages daily through all the weeks of the course, and she does a 12-week course, and I hope much longer. For me, it's been longer. I've been doing them for a decade now, and I have students who have worked with them nearly that long and who would no more abandon them than they would abandon breathing. So they become an essential tool. And what else? She goes on about morning pages, and I'll read. Here's another good paragraph. She goes on about the things that you'll come across while you're doing morning pages, and you do come across a lot. So an attitude of acceptance and equanimity, kindness, and just whatever goes in the morning pages is your thing. Here's the thing about morning pages too. In order to give yourself, she may say this right here, but in order for them to really be this tool of freedom and reflection, They need to be private. So keep it under the seat of the driver's side, the driver's side seat in your car. Like, keep it someplace where it's not going to be seen, because nobody's eyes are on this. Nobody's eyes are on this. Put it in a box with a key. If you're in that kind of environment, you have to protect your own sacredness and your own process. So I only say this because I know somebody who's going to be in the thing who really has a hard time with people crossing her boundaries. So she's going to have to dig a hole every morning and drag out the journal or something like that, hide in the box in the woods. You do whatever you got to do. Trunk of the car, in the attic. You hide it. You hide it if you need to. I don't need to do that, but some people do. I keep mine by this, right in the side by the chair over there. The ball is on the chair now. That makes me happy too. Feels like a big green pearl for a frog. So I'm going to read a little bit more. What are morning pages? Put simply, the morning pages are 3 pages of longhand writing, strictly stream of consciousness. 3 pages, longhand writing, strictly stream of consciousness. I know some of you like tech and you're going to want to do it on your iPad journal. Don't. There's a reason that you will see. There's a reason that you need a tangible, tactile book. There's a reason. It engages more of your sense gates, more of sensory pleasure. So she gives an example of something that she had written down. So this is her writing. Oh God, another morning. I have nothing to say. I need to wash the curtains. Did I get my laundry yesterday? Blah, blah, blah. Oh no, blah. Oh no, blah. That's what she wrote. They might also more ingloriously be called brain drain. Brain drain. 3 pages of brain drain. I sometimes call it brain vomit, but brain drain is good too, since that is one of their main functions. That is the main function. It's a mental clearing technique. She also says that there is no wrong way to do morning pages. These daily morning meanderings are not meant to be art or literature or even writing literature. I stress that point to reassure the non-writers working with this book, with her book. Writing is simply one of the tools. Pages are meant to be simply the act of moving the hand across the page and writing down whatever comes to mind. Whatever comes to mind. Nothing's too pretty, too silly, too stupid, too weird to be included. Absolutely nothing. The morning pages are not supposed to sound smart, although sometimes they might. Most times they won't, and nobody will ever know except you. Nobody is allowed to read your morning pages except you. And you shouldn't even read them yourself for the first 8 weeks or so. So that's another important point. Don't go back. Don't go back. This is not a journal where you refer back to, which is why I suggest you have your own morning pages journal where you don't thumb through backwards, where you don't go, oh, what did I say? What did I say? That's not the point. Have another journal for other journaling techniques, for other ideas, for when you're doing desire mapping. That's a separate journal. It's used in a separate way, a different way. Morning pages, one and done. You write it down, you move on. You write it down, you move on. You write it down and move on. If you end up writing the same things day after day, week after week, awesome. Yes, you'll begin to see patterns. You'll notice things, won't you? You'll notice things. If eventually she says 8 weeks, and I say, sure, if by Christmas, the holidays, New Year's Eve, you want to go Hanukkah, you want to go glance back, it's Kwanzaa, and you're really like reflecting on stuff and you want to go back, maybe by then, okay, go back. But, keep it sacred to yourself. Make that promise to yourself. You're not going to go, you're not going to look at them. Nobody's going to look at them. It's not about reading them. It's not about having legible writing. It's just brain drain. It's just dumping it out there. Although occasionally colorful, the morning pages are often negative, frequently fragmented, often self-pitying, repetitive, stilted, babyish, angry, bland, even silly sounding. Awesome. So her techniques for this, about not anybody seeing it, is just write 3 pages and stick them in an envelope, or write 3 pages in a spiral notebook and don't leaf back through. Just write 3 pages and write 3 pages more the next day. All the things. Then she talks about the censor. I'll say a little bit about this. You must make a rule for yourself. Always remember that your censor's negative opinions are not true. So you may have a week where you're just super judging yourself and others. Just get it out. It's venting. None of it's true. Don't take it on. That takes practice. It's just spilling everything out on the page. Just let it rattle on, rattle on, rattle on. What else is here? She goes on and on, but I think you get the point. The only other point that I'd like to take from her writing right here, as she's really introducing morning pages to her readers, is why all this logic brain / artist brain talk, which is all the morning pages is, just bleh. Because morning pages teach it, because the morning pages teach logical brain to stand aside and let the creative artist play. If you're joining us for the posse, you'll get the book. You can get it used secondhand for, $10 somewhere. You might even get it at your library. Read it. It's a good read. It's really super inspiring. So what I wanted to say next is just about what happened for me this morning and why I chose to do this video on the morning pages this morning. As I was writing, I was reflecting, and that was the flavor of my morning pages this morning, and really reflecting on, I'm not going to read them. I'm just with reflecting on them, I started taking that into my other journal for journaling. And the morning pages opened me up to all of this other creative flow. It was very much in flow state. And I really just started, can I say that one more time? I really just started writing, brain draining around choices and the options. And sometimes I choose things and sometimes I don't. And the insights I've had the last couple of days about those moments that seem to light me up and line up with, and sometimes I back away from them. Bing! Wow. So in that moment of that insight, I can either judge that and make that bad, or I can choose compassion and acceptance, equanimity, kindness, and love, and say, wow, okay. So I chose something different. I chose something from an old pattern, an old way of being, because I'm a little freaking out. It's a little hot. It's a little intense. And the timing isn't right for me to choose that deep down core desired feeling yet. And I'm okay with that, because the next time an opportunity for that choice comes around, I may choose differently. And that is the growing process of living the life of a starseed. Sometimes it's all one fell swoop, but I'm going to implore you all to just go gracefully, just go gently. And as I was writing the morning pages, and the magic of the morning pages was really in full force, I really began to see and reflect on the choices I'm making around how I want to feel. And the choices that line up with that, and the choices that don't, and who's really in charge here. I got this email from a former dance teacher, and she has this online project where there's a performance if you want to be a part of it, but it's this large group rehearsal process that's all online. And how she was talking about it was so, it filled, I just went whoosh into one of my core desired feelings. And it was in full force in front of me as I was imagining and feeling into her offer and what the rehearsal process was. And I imagined how it would feel and how it felt. And I was like, wow. This is magical that I saw this email, I opened it, and boosh, I was right in the middle of it. And I hesitated. I didn't sign up yet. I'm a little nervous. The magic arises, and look at me. What am I doing? What's my choice? When I have an option, what's my choice here? And so my choice this morning was hesitation. What? Okay. No judgment. Okay. I asked some questions about the timing, about what it is. I asked some questions of myself. How would this be? Where's the magic? Where would I need to be to have rehearsal space? So interesting. And even in the little things, for me, it's about the ritual around. And I started writing about this, and it turned into journal. So maybe I'm doing taboo and I'm sharing some of these morning pages as a teaching example, like she does in hers, as a teaching example. I started jamming about what I drink in the morning aside from water, and the habits around coffee drinking, and the mysticism and the mystique. And is there something that else? And I experimented last year with something else, and I had a different experience. I was like, oh yeah, this is an option. And I was like, wow, is it time? Is it time to make a better choice? Is it time? That's what my morning pages were all about. My brain dump was all about timing. And is it time now to choose things that line up with my core feelings of how I want my life to feel? Is it time to choose maybe not everything, but maybe the small things? Like what I'm drinking first thing in the morning. And so this is how it weaves into this is how it weaves into what we're doing in the Breathe, Feel Dream Posse. There's a certain intensity in the Breathe, Feel Dream Posse. Since it's not this year-long project, we're really meeting from mid-October until the first week of January. And we have breaks in there for the Thanksgiving holiday and for the winter holiday of Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's, Beltane. For that holiday season, we're not in session. However, during those weeks, you're still doing your morning pages. You're still meditating. You're still movement, meditation, dance, ecstatic dance, yoga-ing. And you're still journal mapping. You're still doing all these tools. And by the time we hit our first break, which is the American holiday of Thanksgiving, in the first 4 to 5 weeks, we've established these patterns. We've established some patterns, the beginning stages of establishment of patterns. And so then you'll have a week off to see how these patterns stick, to see what lights up for you. And in establishing these patterns, and that's the only thing I would add, they're called morning pages because we're moving from J.Cameron's book, and that's what she calls them. It might be appropriate for you to do them every night before you go to bed. It might be appropriate for you to do them every day after lunch and before your afternoon nap. That's up to you. That's up to you. So be mindful, be aware, choose wisely. Not just the patterns, but part of pattern making is when they happen in your time, space, reality. Time, space, reality. It's not something you have to decide in the first week. It's something that you'll explore and experiment with. And by week 3, you'll know what works for you. So that's what I have for you today. Hopefully this excites you just a little bit more and you're really interested in doing this exploration to take care of yourself, and create the dream life that you want, which may be nothing that you think it is. You'll find out. Okay, everybody, so much love. I'll catch you on the flip. And please join us. I'm so excited. Please join us. Join soon so you can get the discounts and the payment plan. Or join late and, pay more money. That's up to you, whatever works for you. Okay, kids, so much love to you.